Joining me now exclusively, Republican Senator Tom Cotton, a member of the Intelligence Committee. Senator, thank you for being here tonight.
Good evening, Martha.
Good evening. So what really caught everyone's attention was when you said, we also know that just a few miles away from that food market is China's only biosafety level 4 super laboratory that researches human infectious diseases. So what were you suggesting by saying that that laboratory is only 4 miles from the market? What did you mean?
Martha, I'm suggesting that we need to be open to all possibilities, and we need to demand that China open up and be transparent so a team of international experts can figure out exactly where this virus originated. We know it didn't originate in the Wuhan food market based on the study of Chinese scientists published in The Lancet, a respected international science journal. Now, I'm not saying where it started. I don't know. One reason we don't know is because the Chinese Communist Party won't open up to international experts. That's what they need to do so we can get to the bottom of where this virus originated and hopefully get an effective diagnostic test and vaccine for it.
So you have, other different professors, one of them of chemical biology at Rutgers, saying that there's nothing in the genome sequence of this virus that indicates that it was engineered. And then you have, critics, Chris Cillizza, for one, at CNN, saying that it was the height of irresponsibility from a public official to make the contention that you made. What do you say to them?
Well, let's take the Rutgers professor, Richard Ebright. He was the main expert in the Washington Post story you cited earlier. Yeah. Well, in fact, today he was cited in the Asia Times saying that it is quite possible that it was a laboratory incident. Again, that's not saying that this was a bioweapon, but we do know they were investigating and researching coronaviruses in that laboratory. It could have been an accidental breach. It could have been a worker that was infected. My point, Martha, is that we don't know, and until we get all the evidence from the Chinese Communist Party, it is only responsible, not irresponsible, to keep an open mind about all hypotheses.
So it's interesting that today the State Department announced that 5 Chinese media outlets will now not be considered media outlets, but foreign missions. We're going to put the names of those up on the screen for you. What does that tell you? And it does go to the point that you're making, that the information that we're getting is very difficult to verify.
Well, it tells you that the Chinese Communist Party, just like any communist party, has a widespread propaganda effort. And regrettably, the Washington Post and New York Times, 2 of the outlets that you cited earlier, have taken millions and millions of dollars from something called China Daily to run so-called inserts that purport to be news, but in reality are Chinese propaganda. They ought not be doing that.
And that is one of the named entities, right? China Daily Distribution Corporation?
China Daily has spent tens of millions of dollars putting what appear to be news inserts into the Washington Post and the New York Times, yet they are paid propaganda of the Chinese Communist Party.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Would you assume that those contracts would end, that we would no longer see those inserts now that the State Department has declared these media outlets to be foreign missions and not reporting outlets?
Yeah. I would certainly hope so, Martha. And in fact, I wrote to the Department of Justice and Attorney General Barr just a few weeks ago asking them to examine these inserts and whether or not they ought to be registered under the Foreign Agent Registration Act.
Good idea. Senator Tom Cotton, thank you very much. Good to see you tonight, sir.
Thanks, Martha.
You bet.